Arnab Goswami on The Debate at 10, presented by JioMart, powered by Reva University and Greenply.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the biggest scandal to hit Dalal Street. A snooping conspiracy hatched at the highest level. Those involved allegedly include the top brass of the National Stock Exchange, who were there till recently, as well as policemen who ran private companies. The allegations are scathing. The implications shocking, because at stake is the capital market of India. This is a scandal that has shaken the Indian business scene, and the true depths of this rot are yet to emerge. Take a look at the details, Republic Access today, and then we shall debate.
With over 2,000 companies listed, with almost 3 crore trades recorded daily, and with more than 500,000 trading daily for a living, action at the NSE is a high-stakes game. And now it has emerged that the nerve center of India's capital markets was the hub of a scathing snooping scandal that may have involved top NSE officials and a former Mumbai police commissioner.
Let's take a look at the Enforcement Directorate document, in which they clearly mention that Chitra Ramakrishnan, Ravi, as well as Mahesh Haldipur, they are the ones who conspired together to cheat NSE and its employees, and they say that ISEC was engaged for illegal interception of phone calls of employees of NSE in the guise of periodic study of cyber vulnerabilities of the NSE. It also says that about 4.5 crore rupees represents the proceeds of crime. Take a look at this document of the Central Bureau of Investigation, where sensational details are placed. They are saying that the setup for monitoring of calls for ISEC, which began in 2009, was located on the 7th floor of the Exchange Plaza. Till 2012, ISEC used the setup provided by Comtel to NSE to monitor, intercept the calls.
The Enforcement Directorate is not the only one probing the scandal. The CBI has filed 3 FIRs linked to the case.
Take a look at the FIR that has been registered by the Central Bureau of Investigation, in which full details are being given. They're saying violating the guidelines of SEBI, ISEC Services Private Limited audited both the high-risk brokers, continuously breaking the rule of 3 successive audits. They say that they had paid 5,000 each for the 3 audit reports signed by him.
As the NSE scooping scandal gets bigger, I decided to take a look at the Sanjay Pandey-led company ISEC at the center of the scandal. Take a look on how those in office say instructions only come by phone now.
बाकी उनके फैमिली यहाँ पर आते जाता है, मतलब अभी भी आता है? उनकी मॉम और उनके बेटे यहाँ पर आते हैं अभी भी?
बेटे के बारे में नहीं पता, मॉम तो उनकी डायरेक्टर ही है, तो उनका ही ऑफिस है।
सो इस पूरे न्यूज़ के बाद उनकी कोई फैमिली यहाँ पर आई है?
यहाँ पर?
मतलब ऑफिस कंटिन्यू करते हैं या फिर सिर्फ फोन पर इंस्ट्रक्शंस?
हाँ, फोन पे होते हैं।
फोन पर इंस्ट्रक्शंस होते हैं।
And it's not just a cop and top NSE officials who are under the radar. A senior business journalist has also been questioned.
A fortnight ago, we told you a top business journalist was under the scanner in the NSE phone tapping case. On 16th of July, financial journalist Sucheta Dalal was called in for questioning by the Central Bureau of Investigation. We sent her 3 questions. Why exactly was she summoned by the agency? Second, whether at all she knows Sanjay Pandey. And third, did she play a role in helping Sanjay Pandey bag the contract from the NSE for his company ISEC Securities Private Limited?
It's a scandal that has shaken up the business sector and has repercussions way beyond. It's time to uncover the rot. Let's debate.
And viewers, we here at Republic have been exposing the misuse of office and the backsliding of standards of public conduct. Ever since we exposed Parambir Singh, Sachin Vaze, now it comes down to this gentleman, Sanjay Pandey. And it's so horrible, isn't it, PK, Jen, you know, that people who used to wear the uniform did all this when they were in office. So shameful, such crimes Parambir, then Sachin Vazia, and this Sanjay Pandey. I heard that Parambir and Sanjay Pandey were questioned together. Great story, Shravan. Great story. Let me introduce everyone. Sanju Verma of the BJP, MR Venkatesh knows a lot about this. Sandeep Ghosh, former corporate, now political commentator. Renu Mittal, senior journalist. PK Jain, of course, and Professor DK Giri. But my first question is to Ajay Bagga, who is without doubt today one of India's leading voices on the world of business and especially the capital markets, and hugely respected for his expertise and his opinion. Ajay, before we get into two sides of this and the scandal of it, what does this mean? Snooping going on using machines, indirectly bribing police officers, machines in the National Stock Exchange building, tapping of MTNL lines. I mean, what else remains? And what does this mean for investors?
Yes, Arnab, it's very shocking, and overall, this is what has been caught. So you just wonder what else is there. Co-location is actually a dark fiber where they were giving preferential access. So someone was coming to know the trades before everybody else and profiting from that. That is still under sub judice. Mr. Mahalingam at SEBI had passed an 1100 crore fine on NSE, and it goes back to the other thing that when NSE was set up by Mr. Patil, it was with lofty ideals. It was a great institution, but over the decades, it deteriorated, and this open scandals came in. And this, what you have today exposed, Arnab, is very shocking that phones were getting tapped. I would like to remind investors, this is not national. It is not owned by the government of India. Nearly 30% is owned by foreign investors. Indian public sector companies are big investors as well. It is a promoterless technical company. So never think that it is a government of India entity. It is run by individuals. And where the governance went bad was the board was caught sleeping. The board was not checking these people who became bigger than their boots, and they hired people like this. And unfortunately, what is coming out is that laws were flagrantly violated. Investors lost in the co-location scam, definitely. It has happened in the US where, discount brokers were selling contracts to other hedge funds. They have been fined. So much so, Arnab, that recently the US regulator has brought a rule that on every employee's phone, there will be now a monitoring mechanism that they have to put in, and they have fined $200 million to the 5 biggest banks in the world for allowing unregulated messaging by employees. So that will come now by the regulator, especially this scam will hasten the coming of that into India as well. Investors need not worry, money is safe that way, but it leaves a bad taste. This institution, Arnab, last year made 4,400 crores profit. Every time I trade, a part of my fees goes to these stock exchanges. And if this is what is going on, this is how their money is being misused. And ultimately, it's against the investors, because if any investigation is going on, unauthorized people know about it. Anybody is looking at anything unauthorized, people know about it. Trading, you are giving preferential access. So totally, it needs a big revamp, a big clampdown is needed on people like this.
Viewers,
Thanks,
viewers, as Ajay explained that marvelously, essentially why I think the media should not ignore this is because Snoopgate is one side, and then there's the co-location scam. Possibly the corruption goes into thousands of crores. Now, one may say that Snoopgate is small, as in there's a police officer who sets up a company, and maybe Shravan can explain this better, which makes 12 to 15 crores. But for me, Shravan, what shocked me here, how does a serving police officer, first of all, set up a company, then put his family members in the company, then walk across to NSE, then get a contract, then get the machines, MR is laughing, then get the machines, Shravan, put those machines in the NSE office and happily tap into MTNL lines. I mean, this is bizarre. This is out of some Gotham City script. Shravan, did it actually happen?
I would say, Arnab, this is a huge scandal because the kind of interception that was basically being done, it's only state intelligence agencies could have done, and there is a laid down procedure for any agency, even any agency, be it the NIA, be it the ED or the CBI, even if they have to intercept, they have to seek permission. They have to write a proposal to the Ministry of Home Affairs. Only after such permission is granted, they can only then carry out this kind of interception. In this case, nothing of that sort actually happened. NSE did not take any sort of permission. In fact, they said it's a periodic study of cyber vulnerabilities. The information that we have, that there is an email which goes from Chitra Ramakrishnan to her juniors stating that ISEC Securities Private Limited is the company which is going to carry out what they call periodic study of cyber vulnerabilities. What turns out is that 91 employees of the National Stock Exchange, they were under illegal surveillance. There were transcripts that were being provided. In fact, in this particular document, the letter that has gone to the Ministry of Home Affairs, there is a full details of the modus operandi. They've set up an entire system inside the National Stock Exchange. In fact, they say till 2012, ISEC used the setup provided by Comtel to NSE to monitor, intercept the calls. NSE purchased a call monitoring setup from ISEC, which was installed by them in the upper basement of the exchange plaza. And that's the shocking part, that Ministry of Home Affairs at that point in time was not even intimated about what was actually happening.
Yeah, absolutely here. Now, Sucheta Dalal. Sucheta Dalal says that the CBI wants my expertise. So, this is a marvelous instance where she is insisting in her statement, and this is wonderful, you know. We send her 3 questions and she puts out a statement on Twitter. She says, I've been called because I'm the person who broke the scam, and I was called, and that is why I have been called by the CBI. Now, the particular story which is being covered up right now, Shravan, is the phone tapping story. She says, I did not introduce Sanjay Pandey to Ravi Narayan, who was managing director then at the National Stock Exchange. And she says, I don't know why Ravi Narayan is making that claim, but I have not made the introduction, right? And she says at the same time that I was called for my expertise. Now, these are all her claims. We'll have to see what the CBI thinks, whether they're so short of expertise that they called her for guidance. I don't know. As far as I know, she was interrogated for 8 to 9 hours on Saturday. Let's move on to this. But this is shocking. You see, MR, when I tell Sucheta, Sanju, I'm coming to you. When I say to people like PK Jain, wake up and see the rot in the uniform, then they say, no, you cannot question the uniform. He's our Parambir Singh, our Sachin Waze. Tonight, presumably, he will say it's our Sanjay Pandey. What a shame. What a shame, MR. And they should cause a change of heart tonight.
Let me come in, I'll tell you.
Yeah, no, you can surely come in right now. Okay, so do come in and then MR will come in. Yeah.
On the channel. You are doling out wrong facts on the channel. Arnab, listen to me. Sanjay Pandey was not in service. He had resigned from service when they floated this company. And when he was taken back, that is the time he went out. He went out of that company.
Now you have to see the timelines as to what exactly happened at what
You're
time and who was
justifying
behind
it.
this.
No, one minute. I have a counter to you. I have a very sharp counter to you. I have a marvelous counter to you. You say that when he set up the company, he was not in uniform.
That's right.
Allow me to come. It's so beautiful. So when Sachin Waze was not in uniform temporarily, he had joined the Shiv Sena. And then he comes back to uniform. How beautiful. When you leave the uniform, you set up a company, and the company incidentally carries out fraud of the Securities and Exchange Board of India by happenstance. Allow me, I've covered a few scams in my life. By happenstance, putting out fake audit reports and getting them through of high risk. These are all high risk brokerages which get clearances. Shravan wants to come in. There's a lot of research we've done here. And by the way, one minute. Shravan, he comes back. He comes back. Allow me. Allow me to complete. I haven't finished, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the biggest cover-up. This is the biggest cover-up in the world in the Indian media right now. The biggest cover-up is stock market Snoopgate. Shravan is countering. Shravan, coming to you, everyone. Yeah.
Mr. Jain, I'm simply appalled. Everyone in Mumbai, the IPS community especially, they know what was happening as far as this company called ISEC Services Private Limited. And let me just give you some more facts. Please counter them only after that. The fact is that they have now come across more evidence. There are checks written in the name of Mr. Sanjay Pandey by the National Stock Exchange. There was a direct monetary benefit. In fact, not just that, the Enforcement Directorate has gone a step ahead. They are saying that even after he had stepped down, effectively, it was Sanjay Pandey who was running this particular company. Yes, he incorporated this company back in 2001. But the fact of the matter is that he was still running it. How is it possible the checks were in his name?
The problem in our country is, the problem in our country, Mr. Jain.
Please, Mr. Jain, please don't.
No, Shravan.
Please don't.
Shravan, I'll tell you.
We've done our fact checking very well.
Absolutely. And I tell you one thing here, viewers. I want to remind you today, viewers, as far as stock market snoopgate is concerned, for some mysterious reason, which you must investigate, it's only Republic which is interested in this. Everybody is quiet. I wonder why. You know what point being here, however, MR, the bigger point is, and it's a marvelous story. I know Sanju is dying to come in. She's been in the corporate world herself. She knows what we are talking about. The question is, MR, that in our country, there are some people who think they are clever by half, who think they can cut their way around the system. They think we don't know about related party transactions, set up a company, use some contact, get a contract, put it in your family member's name, divert the money. And they think they can get away with it till we come and question it here. So this is a fair and square case. MR, please, yeah. Let's open this up, viewers.
Arnab, I don't think so that this is just an action that was limited only to the National Stock Exchange. If you have the equipment that can eavesdrop,
snoop. I
can also see what snoop or whatever you do. Yeah. I can definitely see that what is that you are talking to me or you are talking to Madam Sanju Verma. So this is what is worrying me, that today you are talking only about stock exchange on which you have a limited evidence. But if you have these instruments, you could be doing it. Remember, there was a minister called Maran, whose house had a telephone exchange with 324 lines. And we don't know what has happened about that story. So this is something that is far, far dangerous. This has got national security implications. Yeah. This has got integrity of the stock market. This has got the privacy of every individual into question. So I think this should not be trivialized into only a stock market related issue.
But who is accountable?
Okay. Who is accountable?
The point is, where do you fix the accountability? MR?
No,
yeah, that's right.
We have to fix the accountability.
Who will discipline the
we have to fix the accountability of who the hell gets people like Parambir, who the hell gets people like Sanjay Pandey as police commissioners of Bombay.
There you are. He's hit the nail on the head.
That is the point. That is the point. If you have the courage to fix the accountability of those political leaders.
Arnab, may I
okay, Sanju is on the debate right now. As we move to the question, who fixes accountability on the breaking news story by Shravan Sen. Yes, please, Sanju.
Yes.
Thank you, Arnab. Arnab, this is a very serious issue and I won't be verbose. I will just quickly say one thing. When was Sanjay Pandey's firm, ISEC Services Private Limited, registered with the ROC? 2001. And when did the NSE co-location scam happen? It happened between 2009 largely and 2015. And while Sanjay Pandey resigned in 2006 from his firm, he continued to be the majority shareholder. He only resigned from his directorship. His mother Santosh Pandey and his son Arnab Pandey continued to be directors. It is like saying tomorrow Arnab Goswami decides to make Niranjan and Shravan as directors of Republic and says, oh, these two are directors. I have no clue of what is happening. Arnab Goswami is the whole and soul of Republic. So are you telling me that Niranjan and Shravan can get away without things happening right under Arnab's nose? It is as simple as that. And I'll tell you one more thing. You know, people who say that what is so big about the co-location scam? Today, the market cap of NSE is more than $4 trillion. And there are more than 50,000 trades which are punched every nanosecond. I'm not talking of seconds. I'm talking of nanoseconds. So even a small advantage in terms of having prior information can make you game the system to your advantage, which is what Chitra Ramakrishna, Ravi Varanasi, Ravi Narayan, Mahesh Haldipur were doing in connivance with Sanjay Pandey, whose audit firm was supposed to red flag the fact that NSE servers were compromised. Did Sanjay Pandey red flag that NSE
Sanju
servers
Verma, who
were
is responsible
compromised?
for
No.
the audience table?
There was
Tell me.
snooping,
Good
there
that you
was
are
money
telling me
laundering,
this.
there was
Who
conflict
is
of interest,
responsible for
there
this
was
audience table, all this
unprofitable
mess
withdrawal
created?
gains
No.
that were made by
Give us the answer.
No.
It is your government, isn't it? It is your central government who controls the IPS officers.
In 2009, Pranab Mukherjee, who
No,
was
it is all right. Who are you blaming? You represent the ruling party. You give us the
who
answer.
hired
Who will clean this mess?
Who hired
IPS officers are controlled
the group
by-
operating officer
by
of
Ministry of Home Affairs. You should set the standard.
Who is P. Chidambaram? Sonia Gandhi. Who is Sonia Gandhi? The chairperson
Come
of
on, you are
Congress.
going
No,
to
no.
Chidambaram is not in the question here. We are talking
Well, English,
He goes all over the place.
DK,
He goes all over the
DK, English is a marvelous language.
Yeah.
Absolutely marvelous, Sandeep.
Why do you get jokers like DK?
No, I'm not calling anyone a joker, anyone a clown. I'd like to elevate the debate.
Don't
Okay,
say
now
that you are
DK,
a
now
clown.
Sanju, there
You are
was
a
no
clown
need
of
for
the
that
first order,
provocation.
Sanju Verma.
And I'd
Don't
like
try
Renu to
that
come
on
into
me.
the debate. I take
Don't
your
try
point,
that on
DK, come on now, let's not debate that. You know, you like heckling each other. Please, 1 minute.
Yeah.
Question being here, English is a marvelous language.
No, but see,
When Shawan writes to Sucheta Dalal, when Shawan writes to, allow me, when Shawan writes to Sucheta Dalal, Sandeep, did you introduce, he's very direct. I like Shawan because he doesn't beat around the bush. Question number 2 was, did you introduce Sanjay Pandey? What was your question, Shawan, to Sucheta Dalal? Did you introduce Sanjay Pandey to Ravi Narayan? Was that your question?
Sanjay Pandey to Ravi Narayan, and whether at all there was any role that she has basically played in helping Sanjay Pandey get that particular contract.
Wonderful. So very direct question.
Claims.
Very
and she's admitted that.
Very business-like.
The thing is that she's admitted.
No, she says in response to your question with this statement, she says, when he asks her, did you introduce former Mumbai Police Commissioner Sanjay Pandey to the NSE top brass, which led to Snoopgate? She says, Sandeep and Renu, I have no such recollection. Now, is that a yes? Is that a no? If it is a I don't know, then what does it mean? Not having any recollection is very convenient. It's all right. Anyway, I won't get into that. What are the larger questions here, Sandeep? I think larger questions on the NSE topic. Yeah, Renu, you want to say something? I think scams and scandals like this cannot happen without some level of political involvement. Don't you agree, Renu?
Blessing of the highest.
Yeah, you see what Arnab, what I am saying is that this government has been sleeping while such a huge scam took place. Now the point is that here is a whistleblower who wrote to SEBI. Only copy he sent was to
Sanju, let her complete. Sanju, let her complete. Sanju, let her complete. Sanju, let her complete. This is getting too volatile now. Thank you. Let her complete.
No, this Sanju keeps on talking.
No. Let her complete. Now, Sanju, this is unnecessary. This is anyway a hot debate. Let her complete. We will hear each other on Snoopgate. We'll hear each other. Thank you. Please. Let us complete.
She has a huge amount of credibility. She has been breaking scams. She has been bringing before the public what all is going on. Now the government is using her expertise to find out about this whistleblower and to find out what is going on in the NSE. No. The fact, Arnab, is that was the government sleeping? What is happening? And why are you questioning a credible person like Sucheta Dalal and making her out to be a villain in the case where she is the one providing the information? What was the government of India doing all this time? Why did the government of India not have its own people in place to find out what is this huge scam going on?
No, 1 minute. Just I must say. Now 1 minute here, please. Just 1 minute, please. Can I come in? Can I come in here?
Okay. There is a difference between interrogation and
Arnab, you gotta
providing
keep her
information
quiet.
voluntarily.
Now-
You tell her.
If Sucheta Dalal knew
interrogation. You can
why
use
did she
whatever
have to
words
wait
you
all
like.
this while?
Your only
Why did she
job
have to
is
wait
to
till
heckle
she-
those who are exposing whatever wrong.
I am merely now, Sanju, we are getting distracted. Sanju, we are getting distracted. We are getting distracted, and please don't speak over each other because it becomes impossible for me to manage this. Now, 1 minute, please. 1 minute, please. Renu and Sanju, I need to come in out here with a limited point. And my point is this: that if Sucheta Dalal has been called in for interrogation, and she can call that recording of a statement. Renu, can you please? Renu, can you please? 1 minute. Thank you so much. Thank you. If thank you. It's wonderful. Yeah, just 1 minute. Point is, Sucheta Dalal is saying I have been called in for my expertise. Now, if she is claiming she's been called in for her expertise in the co-location scandal. However, I am only interested in knowing whether there were any questions put regarding the phone tapping aspect of it. And if there were questions regarding the phone tapping part of it, we must understand that is a completely different matter, right, Shawan? The phone tapping part of it is a different matter, and it will have to be looked at differently. Anyway, I'm not the one who sort of concludes on anyone's culpability or otherwise. We are only reporting, and we have every right to report that Sucheta Dalal was interrogated on Saturday, and I don't think anyone should get a little touchy about it, right? In fact, it is by her own admission that she was interrogated, and that's all right. That's all right, right? Yeah. Now the bigger questions. I want to come to you, Sandeep. What for you is the biggest aspect of this phone tapping, phone snooping, stock market snoopgate operation that we are all getting to know details about? How do you look at it?
See, first of all, Arnab, as you are saying, this is a huge scam. And we should be very careful not to get distracted by some red herrings here or there.
Yeah.
And so first of all, I'll digress a little. Stock markets, like various other things, have always been a target or a cash cow for politicians and other people to get money out. So earlier you had before the digital age, you had a general thing. That's why you had the Harshad Mehta scam and other, even in Yashwant Sinha, who is under a lot of discussion today, there was a stock market scam during his time, the UTI crash, and thereafter everything. Now, NSE, to my mind, was a very, very carefully planned operation. There is no denying it is like a tower of corruption, but a very sophisticated corruption in which a lot of criminal minds have gone in, including locating their servers and everything in Singapore, and due to which they are kind of out of bounds. All that has happened. You are talking about the police involvement. Let me share with something which Shravan may not have picked up. From day one in NSE board, they had retired senior police officers on the board. Okay, and I'm sure those appointments were not done in an ad hoc way. No. I don't want to take names of people. It must have been a part of because Ravi Narayan at that point in time was a poster boy.
Yeah.
Of the corporate world. Everybody thought he was, a great, like Lalit Modi became a game changer with IPL. Ravi Narayan was a game changer as far as the stock exchange thing was concerned. So this is a humongous thing, and we should not lose track, Arnab, and people like you need to keep on track. Otherwise, we'll again get into the Harshad Mehta kind of thing where after 30 years, you were asking about accountability. What has happened after 30 years on the Harshad Mehta scam? And this is, now whether Sucheta Dalal introduced or not introduced, that's a matter of fact which can be established. But I don't think that should deflect us from the core issue. That's my only
I agree with you.
And also a fact that, she was hauled over the coals when she first, that time your Chitra Ramakrishna was the main culprit. They were taken, had it not been, for Mr. Iqbal Chagla, they would never have, they first lost the case. Iqbal Chagla, I know this for a fact, got them the relief where they got some 90 lakhs of compensation which was given to some charity.
No,
but Chitra Ramakrishnan and all went behind them like crazy.
No, absolutely. I wanted a larger context. I want to go back to Ajay. See, when you look at the Indian financial markets, the NBFC crisis and now this, it essentially shows that wherever there's a lot of big money involved, even public officials are part of the very dirty rot in the system. I mean, Ajay, are we not, the bigger question is, we talk about lack of ethics in the Indian business and financial world. Now let's add to that, it's not just the politicians who contribute to it, it's public officials who contribute to it and make money.
No, absolutely, Arnab. And the reality is the technology is advancing so fast, the criminals get the technology faster than the regulators. I remember right from the 92 scam, I used to work in Citibank. We were teaching the CBI guys that what's a repo, what's a BR, how does it work out? And guess what? In 3 years, foreign banks had gone ahead and hired those Citibank guys, those CBI guys on their rolls. And foreign banks made their money good. Indian banks lost the money. So it works all over. But this one, you know, I would agree with Sandeep and MR. It is bigger. If they had this technology running in the center of BKC, it's a public institution in the sense that it can bring down the nation's capital markets if there's a bomb blast there. We saw that in the BSC bomb blast in the 90s. So it is such a highly protected environment. No one can go in. You try entering that place and somebody was running an outfit like this. It had a lot of blessings, Arnab. Yeah. Second, I'm saying you have made so much money. You are making so much money off investors. 32 brokers went defaulters in the last 3 years. Investors have lost hundreds of crores. Take that money out. SEBI had taken 6,000 crores of their funds, put it in an escrow, higher courts gave that money back. That is the trouble. The SEBI guys know the technicalities, they pass an order. When it goes to the honorary justices, they see, okay, 5 lakh fine and 2 years out of the markets, out of which 3 years are already over. So those guys are running the scams right away. So I'm saying, please, this is not a national institution. It should not be named National Stock Exchange. It is not national. It is owned by foreigners. It is owned by institutions. Change its name. Second, put a very strong regulation on it. Third, see what is happening. As I'm saying,
but Ajay, bottom line is none of this could have happened without political approval, Shravan. And Shravan, and that's where this is the tip of the iceberg, Shravan. Just the tip of the iceberg.
Arnab, may I quickly make a point?
Well, in fact, Arnab, all of this is not going to be possible had it not been of the kind of political patronage that certain people enjoyed, including the former MD of the National Stock Exchange. And secondly, the fact of the matter is that a lot of changes back in
whose political patronage, Shravan?
The role that was actually played by several politicians.
Yeah, whose political patronage? As they say, there was one politician always very interested in the market.
May I come in on that?
Yeah, Sanju, quickly, 30 seconds, then going to the next debate, ladies and gentlemen.
The brokers also.
May I please? Arnab, you know, amidst all this, let us be very clear about one thing. The former CEO and MD of National Stock Exchange, Vikram Limaye, was asked to resign, and I think Ashish Chauhan, you know, who has added a whole lot of credibility to the Bombay Stock Exchange, he is now the new MD and CEO of National Stock Exchange, which I think is a very welcome step. Where I disagree with Ajay Bagga is the fact that the National Stock Exchange today is the 4th largest in cash equities in the world and the largest derivatives exchange in the world. And I think we should appreciate the fact that the Modi government started the CBI inquiry in 2018 and now it is bringing even the biggest crook to fruition. Let us not damn the institution. Let us damn the nexus.
Sure. But I'll only add a rider there. Let us not put everyone in the same bracket as Chitra Ramakrishnan. Vikram Limaye, perhaps it is reported, chose not to continue. Maybe the job was too controversial to continue. So those are also the reports. But that